I know it's been a while since I've done a couple of videos, but I wanted to get back online from my hiatus and bring you a little bit of information that's happening here in Lincoln County. A couple of days ago I had the chance to go to Kemmer and attend the Lincoln County budget meeting. Now, the only reason why I went to this meeting was because at the initial meeting that I went to this year in April in Kemmer was in regards to the proposed detention center. Now, this is a pretty controversial subject in the county. A lot of people are now for the detention center. Some people haven't changed their opinion. But the Commissioner Jerry Harmon, Chairman Harmon, invited those of us who were there complaining about the proposed detention center to attend the July budget meeting, citing that if we had a problem with how money was spent, that we needed to be at the July meeting to really make our voices heard. Well, I took the liberty of taking my camera and recording the budget meeting. I was not there for the second day, the day that they approved the budget that they proposed. But one thing that I did notice about the Lincoln County budget meeting was as you walk into the room, you're given a number of pieces of paper. This first piece of paper is the Lincoln County budget, the revenue sources, the actual revenues, budgeted revenues, and projected revenues from each department that the county runs. I had a number of questions about some of the departments that the county now has, and as you can see, there are a couple of the department heads that were at the meeting who made their voices heard, whether their budgets were cut or whether their revenues were projected down. A couple of them got fairly heated. I wouldn't say anything got out of control. It was interesting for me to see that this wasn't necessarily a meeting set up for people to walk in and really get something done, so to speak. I got the feeling that the commissioners had already made their decisions. This is the way it is. I didn't really feel like there was a lot of open discussion or even any kind of open ear on the commissioners' part. They were nice enough to listen to what I had to say, to what other people had to say, but it seemed to fall on deaf ears, especially a couple of the points that I brought up. Number one being this, I don't know if you can see that, but we have budgeted in the county $102,400 to go to Homeland Security. Now, when I brought this up, you can see that Commissioner Connolly had a number of things to say as to why we are funding the Gestapo here in the Lincoln County. I think that, however, those citizens who do have some experience and some knowledge about what exactly Homeland Security is and what they do, I think we have a long road ahead of us in order to educate our fellow citizens around us, as well as the elected officials, as to the dangers of getting in bed with Homeland Security and the federal government on that level. I feel strongly that it is primarily the sheriff's responsibility in the county to make sure that we are not only taken care of with essential services in the event of a disaster, but I also feel very strongly that it is his responsibility to root out and throw out all of the federal departments that are now trying to entrench themselves in the county, Homeland Security being probably the most important. I did make mention of that in my comments that you'll see in the video coming up. You can see that this report, there are a number of pages. I'm sure that you can download this off of the county website, lcwy.org. A couple of things that I'd really like people to know is the meeting was held in the commissioners' chambers, and there were probably 15 to 20 people present. Now, out of a county of roughly 16,000 people, it's a little discouraging to see how few people were there. And for me, it was an education in the sense that I was under the impression that it was going to be more of an input, an opportunity for the commissioners to get the input of people in the community and the department heads, but I didn't get the feeling that that's what it was. Now, take that as you may. You may consider that to be a criticism of the commissioners. I don't know that they set the system up the way it is. I'm sure that they're just following protocol. But if they do get a chance to see this video, if any citizens get a chance, let's try and make next year, or the time in between now and next year, at every commission meeting, a way for, or let's try and make it a point to get the commissioners more on board with getting public input. I think that by and large, there are a couple of them, well, probably all three of them are at least willing to listen. I don't know how willing they are to change or to actually consider options from the public, but I think that if we continue to grow in numbers and try our best to educate ourselves and bring the information that we find to the commissioners, that we will be able to take our county back. I'm really sad, however, that last week in the newspaper that Fundamentics is reared its ugly head again in our county. I think these are greedy, selfish, dishonest businessmen from Utah. I think they have no business in Wyoming, no business in Lincoln County. I'm going to do my best to make sure that all of the information about Fundamentics is brought to light. I've got a couple of videos that I've got planned as things materialize with Fundamentics, but I can't do this by myself. What we need to do, in my opinion, is we need to find a way that either somebody who is already on the county payrolls can advise the county. Otherwise, Fundamentics is going to be dipping their greedy hands into our pockets. The most recent county commission meeting showed that they are now charging the county $25,000 per site to consider for the new detention center. Now, we've paid this company upwards of greater than $1.2 million so far for the work that they've done for us. Now, I'm quite sure that we have somebody in the county with the expertise to do the job that Fundamentics is doing at a lower cost. And I did make mention in the meeting that Jerry Greenfield, the county treasurer, in his advertisement in the Star Valley Independent, talked about how much he knows about real estate and investments and advising and everything else. So since he's already on the county payrolls, I'm questioning why he isn't doing it. But I'm going to go ahead and post the budget meeting. It's a little over an hour long. The comments at the beginning, the people who were talking weren't very loud. I think I'm at the end of the tape for the last 30 minutes or so. But if you have any questions, feel free to email me at starvalleyconstitutiongroup@gmail.com, or just go ahead and put a comment in the comment box below. Thanks.